How do you identify you're in a rut in a long-term relationship, and how do you get out of that rut? Are you tired of being in a relationship that no longer fulfills you, that doesn't even serve you? Keep watching, and together we're going to uncover whether you're in a rut or not. And if you are, what can you do about it? So what are the signs that you're in a rut in your relationship? Well, here are some. One of them, very common, is a breakdown in communication. You've heard the expression, we don't talk anymore. My wife doesn't understand me. We have nothing to say. There's a great song by Barbra Streisand, You Don't Bring Me Flowers. We don't talk anymore. Another sign is there's very little, sometimes zero emotional connection. That's incredibly sad, but very common. Another one is there isn't much joy. There isn't much laughter. There's also little or no intimacy. That means that you're not sleeping together, you're not having sex, but also you're not cuddling. You don't hold hands. You're not really interested in them physically. They're not interested in you physically, but also quite aside from the sexual intimacy, there isn't any cuddling or connecting. There's no hugging, no banter. It's very hard to agree on things. You disagree way more than you agree. You're kind of looking at other people thinking, you're better than what I've got, or I wonder if I could have a better life with you. Other people are seeming more appealing, and you're thinking of leaving, and in your head you're already imagining having sex or a relationship with someone else. There's a breakdown of trust. You don't trust that person, particularly with your feelings, your emotions, your wants, your needs, your hurts. Your goals no longer align. So what do you do if you find yourself in a rut? Well, there's actually more than two options. You think, well, it's black or white. Should I stay or should I go? Shall I leave or shall I stick it out and just put up with it? So you have to decide what to do. Only you can make the decision. And what helps you a lot is to make some notes. How well does the conversation go backwards and forwards? In a relationship that works, you can look at how well is the conversation going backwards and forwards? How well is the giving and receiving, the caring and being cared for going backwards and forwards? And one of the ways to really help you work out where you are and what's going on is to write a list of pros and cons. Write a list of what you get from this relationship, even if it's just, well, I have someone to say hello to, I'm not lonely, we share the bills. Write all the lists of benefits and then write the lists of negatives. Then take a long, hard look at that list. And if the negatives are massively outweighing the benefits just, well, they pay half the mortgage, I've got someone to talk to, I'm not lonely, I couldn't really afford this home without this person. It's not actually a great reason to stay. So look at your list and then really think deeply about what do you want. And one of the things that really helps so much is to go back and think, why did you get together with this person? It's often easy to forget why you loved that person. A man came to see me with his wife. He said, look at my wife. I didn't marry that. She's got so fat. And I thought he was so rude. She had 4 children. I said, wow. You know, in England, people like you are in a museum. Your wife's had 4 children. How can you even call her that? You've come here to see if you should stay with her, but I'm wondering if she should stay with you when you speak about her. It's a derogatory, unkind, frankly horrible way. And it was really weird that he was thinking whether he should stay with her. And in the session, she began to think, wow, should I even stay with him? So really have a look at why did you marry this person or set up home with them? What did you love about them? Try to get past the physical. They had a great six-pack, they had a great body, we had amazing sex, because for a relationship to last, you need 3 things. You need sexual chemistry, You need best friend chemistry, and you need to deeply respect and admire the other person. Of course, you can go, look, been together for 45 years. We don't really have sexual chemistry. That's okay if you both feel like that. But best friend chemistry and mutual respect and admiration is really non-negotiable. And that man brought in his wife and said, I didn't marry that. There was no respect, no admiration, no consideration for who she was, which I thought was incredibly rude and dismissive and hard to come back from. So look at why you married your person, if you married them. Why did they marry you? What were your values? What were your goals? What did you love about each other? What did you love about being together? What was your vision for your life? And sometimes we just lose ourselves. We get so busy with going to work, to get the money, to pay the mortgage, to build a home, raising children, that we forget. We even forget what we loved about our partner. Remember, if you're with someone and you believe, well, when we first together, they bought me flowers. They used to dress up for me. We had sex all the time, and now it's not like that. It's really boring. It's not working. You see, when you're a baby, your mother picks you up and holds you and carries you around, and then you kind of grow out of that stage. And in a relationship, when you're first together, you're always wrapped around each other, walking down the street, holding tight, holding hands, kissing. And many people cope very badly when that phase ends and you suddenly don't dress up and you're not having sex all the time. You don't bother to shave your legs or put on perfume or get a shave. It's all a little different. You don't go to bed together holding hands and you think, oh, it's not working. But that isn't true. You see, you hold a little baby and then it becomes independent. And if when you're a little baby, that in-arms phase ends too quickly, suddenly mum goes back to work or she has another baby and you are displaced too fast, you always look to recreate the first bit, the in-arms bit, the cuddling. Because being in love is an act of regression. You hold hands, you snuggle up, you speak in baby talk. Some people just want that same bit over and over and over again. And they miss out on the other bit, growing a wonderful partnership together, knowing the other person, respecting them, coming back from silly squabbles and growing something really powerful together. So remember, relationships aren't perfect, but they're also not hard work. And you can actually save an existing relationship. Sometimes it's actually easier to get a relationship that's failing back on track than it is to go out and start all over again. I see so many people who go, I left my wife, I've got another one, but I've got the same problems. My new wife is just the same as my last wife. Or I left my husband, I've got a new one, but all the problems are coming up again because you have to fix you. So instead of discarding your relationship and trying to believe the next one will be so fulfilling, you may have to work on you, and it may be that you can save your existing relationship. It may be that you simply cannot do that. But one of the things that helps you make an existing relationship recover or makes the next relationship better is working on you, telling yourself, I'm enough, I'm lovable. Nothing has to be taken away or added in. Nothing has to be snipped off, injected in for me to be lovable. I am lovable just the way I am. So whether you want your relationship to work and stay in it, or whether you want to go and have a new relationship, you have to work on your sense of self-worth, your sense of who you are. You have to heal yourself. Take time to focus on, who am I? What do I want? And you must, with bells on, know that you are worthy of love, deserving of love, and deeply lovable. You're not your body, your weight, your shape, your size, the stretch marks you got from having a baby. You're none of those things. You are deeply lovable just because you are you. And when you can take time to say, I'm lovable, I deserve love. Healing yourself means taking time to know yourself. Who are you? What makes you tick? What are your likes? What are your dislikes? What is non-negotiable in a relationship, and what can you work on? So when you can love yourself and say, I'm lovable, I'm worthy of love, I'm deserving of love, when you know you're lovable, you can find love when you go, well, I'm not really lovable. I'm flawed, I'm damaged, I've got everything wrong with me. How can I find someone to love me? Many people say, I'm looking for my other half. I need my other half to complete me. But you see, you're not a half, you're a whole. And you can be complete without another half because you're not half. When you say I'm whole, I'm complete, I'm going to be with someone and we're going to grow a great relationship together, but I am complete. I'm actually at a level where I can be on my own rather than be in a relationship that doesn't work. Only when you can say, you know what, I'm all right on my own. I actually choose by my own rather than stay in a terrible relationship that hurts me, then you have higher self-esteem. And until you can say, I love myself the way I am, how can you expect someone else to love you the way you are? So you have to love you in order to love someone else and have someone else love you. But if you're in a relationship and you feel it's not working, take some time and ask better questions. I find people ask the wrong questions. Why are you the way you are? Why don't you care? Why don't you love me? Why are you disrespectful? Why are you a slob? Why can't you lose weight? Why are you so messy? Why do you never make lunch? It's always down to me. Why do you leave your laundry all over the floor? You see, these are not questions, they're statements. You're a slob, why? You're so messy, why? You never clean up, why? And when you start with the other person going, what's wrong with you? Why do you do that? You always, you never, if only. You need to do it differently. You need to say, what's happened to us? We used to be so happy together. What do you think happened? How could I be a better wife to you? How could I be a better husband to you? How could I be a better partner to you? And when they tell you, don't get super defensive. Well, that's not true. And by the way, you do that, you're even worse than me. And then say, okay, that's painful to hear, but I'm going to let it in. I'm going to acknowledge it. And I am willing to work on how I could be a better partner for you. And now that you've told me, I'd like to share with you how you can be a better partner to me. In a relationship, we have needs. And some needs are non-negotiable and some are. So in your situation, you have to put your needs into three parts. These needs are non-negotiable. These needs I can meet myself, and these needs I can give up. So for me, non-negotiable would be someone who never travels. I don't want to leave the country. I like being at home. I'm not interested in traveling. Someone who doesn't love animals, non-negotiable, because I love my pets. Someone who is rude to other people and dismissive and unkind, non-negotiable. So in my marriage, I would have to find someone who loves traveling. In fact, for me, what's ideal is someone who works for themselves. And I've only got 2 weeks holiday a year. I've got to be in the office every Monday. I wouldn't say that isn't negotiable, but I'm very lucky that I knew what I wanted. I wanted someone who worked for themselves. I wanted a family person, because after all, I had a family. So I couldn't find someone who says, I'm not interested in your kid, put them in boarding school. I just want to be with you. That is non-negotiable. But then I have other things that are negotiable. I'm very tidy. My husband is not very tidy. And I realized very early on I could make a big deal about the tea bags on the counter. I could just put them in the bin myself. So sometimes you've got to pick your battles. People who are messy don't see mess. There's no point in giving them grief. Why are your pants on the floor? Look, here's a laundry basket. Why have you thrown this on the floor? They don't see it. It's easier to pick it up and put it in the bin yourself than have an argument about it. So we have one set of needs that are not negotiable. You may say an addict, someone who's drinking, someone who's using, someone who's gambling, non-negotiable. I will not be with an addict. And I think that's very smart. But then we have needs we can negotiate. Is it really that important? Can I meet this need myself? I need a pristine house. Well, maybe I can spend half an hour a day doing that and not make a big deal. And then we have needs that we have to give up. You know, is this need such a big thing? It's making my partner unhappy. Maybe I can give up this need. Maybe the need to have the bed made every day with a hospital corners. I mean, who cares? Isn't it better to be happy in it than stressed about what it looks like out of it? One of my clients used to iron her bed every day when her husband got out of it to make it look perfect, and would clean the sink the minute he cleaned his teeth. He said, that is driving me crazy. And I said, look, imagine if he isn't there and you've got a perfect sink. What's more, your sink? Well, your husband, my husband said, exactly. You know, I've been using charcoal toothpaste, and I don't recommend that with a messy husband because you get black stuff all over your sink. But when we moved house, I bought a black sink. How cool is that? It sort of solved the problem. It's a bit extreme. I wouldn't have bought a black sink if I hadn't moved. But sometimes you have to give stuff up. My friend said, oh my God, I tried that charcoal toothpaste. You can't imagine. Even my splashback was black. I put the whole lot in the bin, and I got Colgate white toothpaste because that was smart. Her need to have a clean sink was important. So she just threw the black toothpaste away. You see how she met that need herself. She couldn't give it up. She couldn't make him fix it, so she fixed it by saying no black charcoal toothpaste ever again. Sometimes we really have to pick our battles. If you say, I hate the way my husband crunches apples, don't buy any. Buy pears instead. If you say, I hate the way my husband puts toast crumbs all over the counter, then get paper plates. There's many, many ways of picking your battles. But when your partner really annoys you, imagine your life without them. And then you come back to thinking, wow, they may be annoying, but my life without them would be much harder than my life with them. So work out your needs and then be able to say to your partner, listen, this is a need. I need this. I need you to call me when you're out because I need to know that you're safe. I need you to turn up on time. I'm not good at hanging around waiting. I need certain things. And then allow your partner to communicate their needs. And they go, well, I don't. It's like someone saying to you, I'm not hungry, so you can't eat. I'm not thirsty, so you can't drink. I'm not cold, so you can't put on the heating. That would seem weird, wouldn't it? But our needs are different. So let your partner know your needs. They cannot meet your needs if you don't tell them what they are because they're not psychic. They're not a clairvoyant. And you can't know their needs unless you allow them to explain them and express them. And then consider couples therapy. At the very least, start reading great books. There's one called I Love You. Let's Work It Out. There's one called The New Couple. There are many, many great books on couples therapy, working it out, being together, and remembering why you ever loved this person and why they loved you. So work it out if you can. And if you can't, if you think, well, no, it's run its course. We're not on the same page. I just don't feel the love, then part. But try to part as friends. You know, you loved somebody once. Try to stay friends. And if you can't do that, move on. Do not part. Make the mistake of checking their Facebook, looking on their Instagram, asking them what they're doing, asking their friends what they're doing. If you're going to move on properly. Make a life. Find your own interest. Think about what you'd love to do. Ask yourself some questions. If you only had 6 months to live, what would you do with your time? If you won the lottery and never had to work again, what would you do with your time? And if those answers are almost the same, that's what you should be doing. Here's another question. What makes your heart sing? What have you always wanted to do but held back from? And think, well, finally, I can do these things. So before you bury your love, make sure it's really dead. Make sure that you can't resurrect it. And if you can't, let it go with elegance and class. Wish that person well and wish yourself well and move on. And if you want to know more, click the link below and access my 21-day relationship challenge to learn how to build a fulfilling, and healthy relationship that lasts forever. Don't mourn what's gone, celebrate what's coming. My favorite expression is this: every stage is a dream that's dying or one that's coming to birth. And when you frame it that way, the ending of one thing is the beginning of something new. There'll always be in a state of being able to be grateful and celebrate. So during my 21-day challenge, you're going to learn how to attract and build the most beautiful relationship that lasts forever. I can't wait to see you there. Check out my next video here.
There's elements of the bad boy that in some ways are, we look for even in the good person that we end up with. You may marry a good man, but it's hot when you marry a good